I'm Dutch, and let's react to the Americans. Hello, and welcome to the channel, or welcome back to the channel. My name is Johan, and I'm a typical Dutchman, and I often wonder why is there such a big gap and misunderstanding between the US and Europe. And to do so, I want to learn about this gap and to make it smaller. I react to videos about the US lifestyle, and how US in comparison with Europe. And if you like this kind of content and me reacting, then please like the video. Don't forget to like the video, and subscribe also to the series, because I'm gonna do a reaction every day about this theme, and a live reaction on Saturday, but more about that in the description. So let's take a look at this video, and the video of today is from a homestead journey. So we start with a subscribe and a like, and it's about the cost of living is ruining every generation in America. I want to take a look at this. Why is this happening, and what is causing it? So let's take a look together.
The cost of living crisis
If I put up my headset, so I can actually hear what he says.
in America is real, and I completely understand why so many people feel inclined to create video content on a platform like TikTok, expressing their disdain for it. Everyone is hurting. Even if you're a high-income earner, you're not alone, and it really is no wonder, just given how prices have gone up on just about everything from food to gas in this country. The average cost of a home is $420,000.
Home? Average cost $420,000? Average. Let me know in the comments if this is how you think it's also is. 420,000. We call this 4 ton. Man, for 4 ton, the average, you get a single house with 2 garage ports and 2 bathrooms and 5 sleep bedrooms, and for $420,000, you live like I will not say a king, but you get a very good house over here in Europe for 420,000. Even with the housing crisis that we have right now.
Most people don't have the ability to afford that, especially with crippling debt, like in the form of student loans, and a myriad of different bills that people just can't seem to get out from underneath of. We can't even buy cheap food at McDonald's for $1 anymore. They completely nixed the dollar menu. And what dystopian future are we living in which we have to pay more than $1 for fake food at McDonald's that doesn't even taste any good?
Okay. I didn't know that there was a thing like you get for $1 some cheap burger or so. Yeah, but the student debt, yeah, I understand. Wow, with all this college tuitions, that's crazy. It's crazy. Damn. And the credit cards, yeah.
So it begs the question, what do we do?
I'm not trying to come across
What do we do? Good question.
ungrateful or unhappy or cynical or anything like that, but I have a question. What in the hell has happened to cost of living increases? Like, for real. Everything is going up. Everything.
But she does not react to him, so I'm reacting, but what happened to the cost of living?
around us. It's just no matter what, between eggs, gasoline, all these things. And we get a cost of living that's 1%. What are we supposed to do with that? Like, what am I going to do with 1%?
1% of what? 1% of your income that you can spend on living? What does he mean by 1%?
Our insurance alone is going up 10% this year.
Insurance, 10% higher.
And we're getting 1%? Now, do
Oh, 1% increase in pay versus 10% insurance. Wow.
the math, that's losing money. That's year after year. I'm not getting any more. I'm losing money. They're taking it away from me. I come from the time back in the early 2000s where a raise was a raise. You get 6, 7, 8, up to 10%, and it was normal. And then in 2007 or 2008, somewhere around there was a period where we got nothing. Nothing for 3 years. And now we're getting 1% and we're supposed to cheer about it. I don't get that. What am I cheering for? Am I cheering for, hey, I lost money, the longer I work for you, the more money I lose? How does this keep happening?
Okay, like, do I want to
Yeah. it's not having a union or not having labor laws that compensate this mismatch between the cost of living getting higher and your payment, also known as the inflation. You got to pay more, while the inflation and earning less means that the inflation is higher. What does she say?
work hard in my 20s and then save up, and for what? Like, what are we saving for? Like, I have a car. Everybody has to have a car, basically. Like, you can't get around. There's no buses, trains, places. We're in the US. What are we saving for? We can't afford houses. So, like...
She's in her 20s. So it's about every generation. Yeah, okay.
What are we saving for? What are you saving for? And so, like, do I want to work hard in my 20s and then, like, what? Work hard in my 30s and 40s and 50s and 60s and then try to retire and, like, enjoy my life? Like,
Probably.
my brain is so, like, already broken out of the matrix that, like, why are we even working? We're literally working to buy shit.
Yeah. Having something costs money. So I understand that that's an important thing in the US is to buy stuff and to can afford those stuff. You have to work hard, and to work hard you can buy stuff, and you want new stuff to buy more, better, bigger car, better house. So you have to work harder to afford a bigger house or a better car. Yeah, that's
Guys, I can't afford it. I can't afford life. I just can't. It's so hard. It's so expensive. It's so darn expensive to live nowadays. I just can't do it. I don't know how everybody else is doing it. I don't know what kind of money you're making. Where are you guys working? That is normal people. I'm talking about normal people. I'm talking about not influencers, not these crazy high corporate jobs, normal jobs. What are you guys doing?
what are you guys doing? Yeah, working hard. I guess the same as that she does, and the other ones already working hard. Yeah.
Because apparently I'm doing something wrong. I can't afford life with my job. I can't afford it.
Okay, she works, and then she had to find a second job or a third job just to. Yeah. The answer is change the country, but it's hard. It's me talking as a Dutchman from outside and from living in Europe. But yeah, it's Americans controlling Americans. I can only say, yeah, as long as there are no decent labor laws and there are no government controlled payments and security measurements for people without a job or healthcare or everything else affordable, this most of the time affordable education, all those stuff isn't there because politicians, and I don't want to be a politician, don't want to go into politics, but politicians have money and they are lobbied with other people who also have a lot of money and they want to earn money. And so nothing changed, because if something changed in the law, then that big pharma or whatever doesn't make as much money as the year before. So they pay hard, they pay a lot to be sure that that law is not changed or that that labor law is not coming through. It's Americans controlling Americans. Yeah. My view.
And I can't leave either. So that's that.
You can't leave either. He cannot afford to leave. Yeah, maybe that's a good one. It's not easy to leave the United States. I saw the prices for a plane ticket. Those are insane. A plane ticket to Europe.
More and more people are realizing that they're going to work every single day. They're putting in the time, they're putting in the effort. They're receiving a paycheck, and that paycheck is not covering all of their needs. That paycheck is not getting them to a point where they even feel comfortable enough that they can save up money for something they want in the future. And this is just really terrible. I think right now is a time that a lot of people are really starting to second guess and rethink, where do I see myself in the future? What do I see happening? People are moving out of the cities. People are scrambling for side hustles, second jobs. People, I've heard talk about that they're considering that they may start taking up theft, because they don't know what else to do.
Theft, yeah. Criminalized. It's also part, yeah. And if you go to jail with a minor, then you have a warm bed, food, and clothing. If you cannot afford it on the outside, then do it inside the jail. And you have no freedom, of course, but at least for some of them, considering this as, okay, it's an alternative. I have food on the table, and I have a house, I have a roof above my head. It's better than living free on the streets with no food and no roof.
People are starting to feel pushed into this corner and they don't know how to react. There's people that are talking about moving out of the country because the US is so unaffordable, and they're starting to look at other places like Mexico and other places in Central America and South America and other countries in Europe even. So if you
Yeah, I do not know what the cost of living is in Mexico or in Canada, but I understand that people think, yeah, goodbye America. I love America, but it's unaffordable.
if you're thinking, hey, this is really getting hard, are other people going through this? Yeah, a lot of people are really struggling right now. We've been living frugally for years, and even we've been seeing that there are things right now that we have a hard time getting around, when it comes to buying things, because we need to get certain items and then the price is just so high. And of course, with the tariffs, things are going to go up even more. But it's really concerning what's
Yeah, now the tariffs are up by President Trump, so the costs are even going up higher.
going on. That's why I'm such a proponent of trying to cut back, live below your means as much as possible, move in with family, don't have a brand new car, get rid of that, get something used, don't get into more credit card debt. If you need to find some
Good advice.
type of side hustle, something that you can do on the side, even though nobody wants to work a second job, but just relying on your own one income right now is not necessarily reliable. So thinking outside of the box and what can you do on the side, even if it's babysitting or cutting lawn or doing something that you are skilled at during the weekend, it can add up. And I think it's just something that it's kind of a reality right now, especially for a lot of Americans, because wages have just not kept up and the cost of everything is increasing so much.
Yeah. Second job. There are so many, and I believe that there are a lot of people like she does that also have a YouTube channel to generate some kind of income if you can afford a phone, a computer to edit, but all that is in the phone, YouTube Studio, etc. So yeah.
This is how screwed up the middle class is in less than 60 seconds. I got a friend, him and his wife make about $120,000 a year each.
Each 120,000.
They're very educated, very smart, very hardworking, not the average American. But we're going to go off of them. So they make $120 a year each. That's $240. They have a credit score of almost 750 combined.
Credit score doesn't say anything to me except that I have a video about it, but yeah.
They can get a house for a 3-bedroom, 2-bath for around $5,000
Oh!
a month.
Oh, what? 420,000 average to buy a house. Did he just say 5,000 rent?
$240. They have a credit score of almost 750 combined. They can get a house for a 3-bedroom, 2-bath
3 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, yeah?
for around $5,000 a month.
$5,000 a month for 3 bedrooms and 2 bathrooms. Unbelievable.
How is a basic middle class person supposed to live and afford a 3-bedroom, 2-bath house in Washington State when it's $700,000 and it's $5,000 a month, and a basic family makes probably roughly $80,000 combined, if not 120 combined, and that's at $60,000 a year. So if you make $60,000 a year, you and your wife combined, you still cannot afford to live in a 3-bedroom, 2-bath house if you're middle class American.
I told myself
This cost of living for rent, and he's not talking about insurance and healthcare and education, etc., but damn,
I would never cry on the internet because I think that's so lame.
our rent is going up. Life is not affordable anymore.
But I just got our rent renewal thing for our apartment complex, and it's going up by $300 a month.
What? $300 a month? Who in America determines how much rent can be, or how much, at what percentage the rent can go up? This 300. An average home here in the Netherlands, rent, a cheap one, the cheaper rent homes is 400, 500, 600. Let's say 600 euros a month. 600, that's it. Clean. Yeah, if you have an apartment with more rooms, you go up. But if you pay $1,000, €1,000 a month for rent, you are a thief of your own purse, because you can go buy a house for 600 of mortgage. So paying €1,000 rent, and if you the nicest thing about living in Europe and in the Netherlands, if you cannot afford the 1,000 because you have not enough income, the state will help you by subsidizing partly of your rent to a maximum amount. 300.
$300 for a one-bedroom apartment that is not updated in any sort of way.
One bedroom apartment.
And our complex doesn't even have like nice amenities. Like we have a tiny pool and a tennis court. Like this is not a luxury apartment complex. We already pay with all the fees and everything included $2,000 a month, and now we're going to be paying $2,300 a month for this tiny apartment.
Yeah. Get over here. Damn. Leave. It's the only advice I can give is leave. Leave America. Let them know that if the citizens are leaving, that they have a bigger problem. But
And that's just so frustrating. I don't understand how people can live in this world anymore. And I just don't
yeah, suicide rates are going up, I guess.
want to move again because that's so much work and more money, and it's stressful trying to find another place, and it's just so annoying. And now I feel like I need to get a new job, and I just got this job and I like it, but it's not paying me nearly what I need. And so now I'm gonna have to go through applying to jobs again, which I did for like a whole year plus until I found this job. So I'm gonna have to go through all of that again. It's just not fair.
I am so tired of living my life in survival mode because despite having 2 college degrees and making close to $80,000 a year,
2 college degrees, 80,000 a year. Yeah?
I still cannot keep up with the cost of living. I still cannot afford all of my bills every month and have to live paycheck to paycheck.
With 80,000 a year. Living from paycheck to paycheck? Guys, explain this to me. Ooh, 80,000 a year. I guess gross income? Because you have to pay taxes, etc. Let's say 60,000 a year. Well, yeah, with 5,000 rent, 5 times 12, yeah, then you're at 60,000. Oh man.
I think that's absolutely ridiculous. I am sacrificing my mental health, my time, and my energy to take care of people in their most vulnerable moments, and a lot of the time they do not make it. At the very least, I should be able to pay my bills.
So she's some working at as a psychiatrist or a nurse or a doctor or
And for anyone who's thinking, oh, well, you shouldn't have chose that job, somebody has to do it. And you know damn well if your loved one was critically ill, you would want somebody to take care of them, right? Something has to give.
I think what we're going to start seeing even more than what we already are is more of an exodus out of these very expensive places to live and exist. A lot of people are in states right now that have a high cost of living, and there are still plenty of states here in the country that have a lower cost of living. So starting to think about what kinds of places that could be. We have moved from very expensive states to more affordable states a couple times in our marriage, and it's been helpful. And I'll tell you right now, you do see the change in the cost of living if you move from somewhere like California or Florida or even parts of Texas even to other areas, other states. And you don't necessarily have to move out of the state that you're in. Typically in every state there's going to be the expensive places to live and there's going to be more affordable places to live. Now, some states just kind of overall are more expensive to be in. So
Yeah. Good advice again. Yeah, that's like I would say, if you're gonna live in Amsterdam or Rotterdam, you're sure that you have to pay higher rents than you're gonna live in one of the other 10 provinces that we have in the Netherlands. Then the rent or buying a house is way cheaper than in the high concentrated. Yeah.
that's why I say maybe start looking at other states. We currently moved to Oklahoma from Texas, and we've seen already a reduction in costs for several things, particularly housing. And it's just something that I think people need to do. You know, when the cost of living is really high, you need to migrate, you need to move if you can't afford it. And if
Yeah, and America is big. It's me talking about the Netherlands, but the Netherlands is a small one, and if I cannot afford here, I can go to another part of my continent, maybe Spain or Italy. But yeah, I've got family around here, so I won't. But if you can within the same state or without your same nation, it's all America. Yeah.
if you don't have another way of surviving where you are. So people have been doing this for generations. Some people leave the country completely, other people leave the state, other people leave the area that they've known and maybe grown up in, and they've been there for many years. So that's just some food for thought, but
Yeah.
let me know your thoughts down below.
Damn. Ooh, wake up call. Man. I know it was expensive to live in the United States, but these people, even the people with higher incomes, if they cannot afford to live the way they're living and living from paycheck to paycheck, high educated, then there's seriously something wrong in the United States and with all the politics coming up there. Okay. Well, one advice from me: leave. Leave. I will not say come all to Europe because then we have another problem, but yeah, find another place. Start somewhere else because this is way too expensive, or get organized and make sure that something changed, that the quality of life changed for everybody in the United States. But that's for me outside talking easy. It's easy talking for me, but yeah, organize, get organized, protest the First Amendment, do it. Make sure that this, it's, I if I hear all about this and I think about what's going to happen in 5 years from now or 10 years from now, if it cannot be that somewhere it's gonna explode in the United States and people are gonna rebel against the government, or there's gonna be a massive amount of thefts and homicides, etc., or a lot of suicides because people cannot and see not the end of their troubles. There has to be. Thank you for watching. And if you like this video, maybe you like this video too. And maybe you should subscribe to the channel. And I also have a live session on Saturday or on Sunday, depending on which time zone you are. It's in the description. And I will thank you for watching to my channel, watching to this video. And I will see you in the next video.